Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are here with Titanfall Assault, brand new mobile game for the iOS and Android. And for those of you who play Titanfall, you're going to enjoy this game because it has Titans and it has pilots. And you guys already know that can be a lot of fun. So the idea with this game, man, we'll go through the tutorial just so you guys can see that there is some help in the beginning to help you understand how it works, because it's not one of those games that you can just jump right in and understand what's going on. There are objectives inside the matches. There's also a system that's very similar to Clash Royale, where you have to wait for your energy to build up, and each pilot or Titan or support card that you use has a value to it that will deplete from that 10 energy bar limit that you have as it fills up. So you see here, we'll start off with strikers. Those are your standard pilots that will, do most of the damage for you in the beginning until it's time where you can drop your Titan. You also will have support cards, which, will come up later in the video. But like for the pilots, you have grenadiers, you have your other classes that are built into the game. Now also, with the support cards, you have sentries, you have missiles, and then you have grunts, which is a group of pilots that will help you attack. And the idea is once you take A and B, you work your way towards C, and essentially you're going to go towards the enemy base where you're going to try to destroy their tower. So that's why I say it's very similar to Clash Royale, because it is kind of a tower defense game. There's strategy involved, and back to the energy system, you got to manage your decisions more carefully. Now, upon completing the tutorial, you're allowed to select an avatar, which will be your profile icon. You can also select your name as well, so you can customize the whole entire experience. This game here does allow you the feature to record your gameplay and save it to your camera roll or your gallery. And you can also stream directly from the game as well. I'm playing currently on the iOS, so I know that those features are definitely available on there. I haven't checked on the Android yet, but I'll definitely look on my tab later on when I download the game. Or I can also ask my buddy, the Unknown Games, who's actually the one who told me about this awesome game. So either way, I'll be able to answer that for you guys in the comment section so you know what's going on. So over here, you basically have to do 3 practice missions in the beginning in order to get full grasp of the game, how it works. And the tutorial, again, does a great job of explaining everything to you. So this section here, you're going to go over Titans and turrets. The Titans are basically the ones that are going to wreck the towers for you. But there's also defense turrets that have to be taken out. So if you destroy the heavy turret, instant win. But it's not that easy. You have to get to the heavy turret. So you got to go through control points and take out the enemy turrets that's right before it, along with whatever they drop down on the floor as well, because, it is a live match. There's going to be offense, and you got to go against their defense. It becomes very challenging at some points later in the games if you're not making the right decision. So if you're spawning all your troops on the top of the map by the medium and heavy turret, essentially you can leave your base undefended and your opponent can win the match without you even realizing it, because you're focusing on conquering and overpowering your opponent and you forget to cover the base on the bottom. So those are things that are very important to remember. Now you see the Titan, they do a lot of damage. And this here, we're going to take out this tower pretty quick. Again, it is a tutorial, so the idea is for it to be very simple for you to understand. Now, since we're showing you how quickly it is to take out the tower once you have all your troops deployed, it's very important to realize I have everything over here. I'm not focusing on the bottom. So folks, remember, that's important. You don't want to lose a match that you're about to win because you were careless. Now, each card that you can drop down, if you look on the top left corner, has a number value to it. So this is what I was explaining earlier. If you have the 10 bar energy filled, once you drop down, let's say a 2 elixir, well, I don't know if it's necessarily elixir, but if you drop 2 value card down, you have 8 to work with. And I'm not going to get into math with you guys, but You got to be careful to use your energy properly. I keep emphasizing that because in these games, it's very important. Now, your average match could be anything between, I'd say, like 3 to 6 minutes. These matches here are easier, but as you play along later, it could be a little bit longer. I had a match that I played afterwards that was about 5 minutes, so it could be a little bit longer. Now, upon ending the victory, you earn victory cash. This here will give you in-game currency, along with cards that will help you level up what's in your current lineup, or give you an opportunity to try out new cards as well. You can also upgrade your Atlas, and if you head over to your squads, that's where you're going to either swap out what cards you're using or upgrade the ones you currently have. And you use the credit for that. Now, every time you get more of a card, they call it earning XP. So you get a certain amount of XP on the card, you can get it to the next level. Now, I like this feature here as well. You cannot over level your card unless your player profile reaches a certain level. So you cannot just go right into the game and purchase all the cards of a common or epic or rare inside the shop and expect to be able to overpower your opponents, because you're not going to be able to do that unless your player level is appropriate enough for you to upgrade your card. So I thought that was great. I don't want to say that it's gonna curb the pay to play aspect, but it will somewhat slow it down in the beginning of the game. So for those of you that are afraid of games that have the options of in-app purchases, I wouldn't worry so much right now because they have that built in to protect you guys. Now, each deck that you consist of, and this goes back to the values of each card, has an average deck value. And back to my folks from Clash Royale, right? Because I covered that on the channel a lot. You can have a heavy deck where you have nothing but epic, expensive cards in your deck, or you can balance it out and have some low-range common cards, maybe a couple rares and a couple epics. Now, playing the game, they have, with the victory cachets and everything that you earn, you can also earn free cachets. You can get a good amount of cards right in the beginning. So I think they do a very good job of spreading out what's available. And you see here, we're doing a pretty good job. We're taking over that turret, but we're looking back at the bottom to make sure that we're not flanked. And I know, folks, I'm saying cachets. I know it's cash, but my boy, the real Rombo, has said cachets so much when we play Division that it's embedded in my brain. So please forgive me on that. It's not me not knowing how to pronounce the word. I just like the way it sounds when I say cachets. All right, so back to the game, right? Enough fooling around. Try to throw a joke in there every now and then, right? You can't just listen to me talk for 10 minutes without getting some entertainment. But you see, we took out their Titan. We provided support behind our Titan since it's a tank, so we can put everything down behind it. Also, at every control point, or what they call hard point, it's a good idea to throw down a sentry because it will attack any of the opponents coming down towards your base. So use the sentries at the hard points. If you see they throw down their grunts or grenadiers, which is like a group of different pilots, you can use your missiles to take them out as well. It's great crowd control. So you see, that was an easy match as well. So no need to like really celebrate, but it's simple in the beginning. And once you start playing the live online matches, it's actually not that bad. If the load screens are pretty quick. Again, if you want to save the replays on your camera roll, you can do that. It's a really cool feature. And if you want to stream from the device, you could as well. Now, there's also offers that you can purchase. There's a booster cachet. And then there's a cachet an offer that will give you extra tokens, which you can use to unlock the caches. And then you get the in-game currency, which you will use to upgrade your cards. So right, you get a notification saying you have a new card. You head over to your squad, and it's up to you if you want to add it to your lineup or not. You see you have Titans, you have pilots, and if you keep scrolling, you'll see the other cards that you have, which are the support cards. Now, look on the top right, the average supply for this deck is 2.7. So it's a pretty cheap deck. It was getting the job done. From my experience with my other games, and I'm going to bring up Clash Royale again, I prefer a little more tankier deck. So Essentially, I'm going to try to create something that's more in the mid 3s, early 4s. Now, there's also a built-in login system. So if you log in consecutive days, the first 7 days, you're going to get special rewards. So definitely download the game after this video, because once you reach day 2, there's a very special reward for you guys. So you see day 1, we got 200 tokens, which again, you can use that to open up your cache. You can use your practice menu to test out your decks against AI. If you didn't want to go right into the ladder matches where you're going to earn medals or trophies, and that will determine your ranking in the game, and also will determine who you're going to face early on in the game as well. So it has a matchmaking system based on the trophies. Now, if you're playing on an Apple device, you get a free cache, but you also get an Apple-based skin along with Sniper Ion. Sniper Ion is an epic card and is a Titan. And it also comes with 25 experience. So once you level up, you can get this card to level up with you as well. I thought that was really cool and really exciting to get an epic right away. So we'll look at the team right now. We have to figure out what we're going to substitute. So I already have 3 Titans. I got a couple pilots. And then I have a good amount of support cards, which I think it's a good idea to have 4 of them. They're very helpful. Essentially, what we decided to do was obviously we're going to put in Sniper Iron in the team. So I did replace one of my Titans to put him in because he's much stronger. And I think it's more advantageous to have a more equipped card to get the job done. So, folks, that's it for Titanfall Assault. We pretty much went through the first 15 minutes of the game. I did cut out some stuff for the video. And for the most part, I really enjoyed the game. For those who play games similar like this, like Clash Royale or even Star Wars Arena, I think it was called Force Arena. Those games are very similar to this. All right, so that's it, folks. This is our first impressions of Titanfall Assault. I definitely like the game a lot. I'm a big fan of any games that are like this, obviously, because I love Clash Royale. So this here reminds me of it, but it's also very different. And I like Titanfall as well. I used to cover it a long time ago on the channel. Awesome game. And I think this is really cool. And I'm sure at some point they'll be able to tie in some rewards for playing on a console as well. So, folks, thanks for checking out the video. Definitely like the video if you want me to cover more of Titanfall. It's a good indicator for me if you guys are enjoying the content, because then I'll definitely create at least 1 video a week for you guys and show you the progress that I have. And eventually I'll be able to recommend some decks that work for me, like I do with the CR. And if it's your first time checking me out, definitely hit the subscribe button so you get future updates for this game along with many other mobile titles, all right? And for my returning subs, you guys rock. Appreciate the support. Peace out.